Welcome back to Crazy Coders Club. This is the third part of our ongoing series called Single Page Website Development. Let us recap what we have done in the first two parts. In the first part, we have designed the navigation bar. In the second part, we have added this tagline section and also this button. To enhance the user experience, we have added smooth hover effect to the navigation elements and also to this button. In case if you have not gone through the first two parts, I would recommend you to go through those first and then come here. The links are available in the video description. Please check it out. In this part, we are going to add About Us section. Let us see how it looks. This section contains of a heading and three content boxes. Let us see some basic ideas on how to develop this section. First step is to divide the entire section into two rows. First row is for the heading and the second row is for the content boxes. The second step is to divide the second row into three columns, one for each content. The third step is to divide content box into three divisions, one for heading, one for the content and one for the link. Let us start developing in the HTML. First, we'll do some basic setup. First, I am going to remove the older content which we used for the home page. Let us remove it. I have already written the content for about section. Let us copy the content and paste it in HTML document. In the CSS, I want to change the text color of the paragraph element. Initially, I have given it white. For only the tagline section paragraph, I want white color. That's why I am giving it in separate. So here, this class I will change to tagline paragraph. This is applicable to the paragraph which is inside the tagline class. This is the paragraph which I was referring in the CSS, which is inside the tagline section. This is the paragraph which is inside the tagline class. So now let us start defining our HTML. First, we'll add a section with a class name section about and the ID will be about. This is to reference the particular section in the navigation bar. Okay, once after adding the section, we are going to divide this section into two rows, one for the heading and one for the content boxes. Copy the same code and paste it. So we have created the two rows. Now inside the first row, I'll add my heading, that is about us. Inside the second row, I will have three columns, one for each content. Class name will be call span one of three. I will have three columns inside my second row, one for each content. Let us copy the division box and paste it two times. So inside the first column, I will define my content box. Once it is finished, I'll copy the content box and paste it inside the second and third column. Inside the content box, I will have three divisions, one for the heading, one for the content and one for the anchor tag. Let us copy the text and paste it here, and the second division will be for my paragraph, that is the content. So let us copy the content and paste it inside the paragraph element. Okay, once it is over, we'll define our third division, that is for the anchor tag read more. Let us define the anchor tag. Hyperlink reference will be pointing nowhere, that's why I'm keeping it as hash. So the name will be read more. So once it is over, copy the content box and paste it inside the second and third column and change the content. So I'm pasting it in the second column and as well as in the third column. So let us change the content correspondingly. So for the second column, copy the text and paste it inside the heading and also the paragraph in the second column. Okay, once it is over, copy the content for the third column and paste it inside the third column heading, and then the third column paragraph. Let us remove this and put the required content there. Okay, I think we are almost done with our HTML now. Yes, it is complete now. Let us see how it looks in the web. Now we'll style our document using CSS. First, we'll add some padding to the top and bottom and also the background color. For all the sections, I want to have a padding of 80 pixels so that the content looks cleaner. 80 pixel at the top and bottom and 0 pixel on the right and left. So after adding this, I will add the background color to the section about. Let us copy the class name of section about, paste it here, add the background color. For the background, I'm going to use a light gray color. The code will be F1, F1, F1. Let us save and refresh inside the browser. Okay, padding has been added and also the background color. Now we'll style our row. Inside the row, our headline and also the content boxes are there. For the row, I will have a width of 100%, and inside the row, I'm going to use a property called display flex, which will help us in aligning the content. Okay, display flex. To bring it to the center, I'm going to use two properties which called justify content center and align item center. These two properties will align horizontally and vertically. Let us see how it looks. Yes, our content is aligned one after the other and also in the center. Now we need to add some padding to the left and also to the right. Let us add the padding. Padding top and bottom 0, left and right 50 pixel. Let us save and refresh. Now the padding has to be added. Yes, it has been added now. Now we'll start styling our headline, that is about us. This is a h2 element. So h2, copy the code from the h1 and change the corresponding parameter. For the h2, I'm going to use a font weight of 400 as it is, and I'm going to change only the font size, that is 1.5 of the root element. Yes, it has been added. Now we'll add some border bottom to the about us. So for that, I'm going to use a pseudo element called after content. There will be no content inside the after element. Height will be 2 pixel. I just want a line. Height will be 2 pixel. A width of 100 pixel. So after defining the width, we are going to display it as a block, display block, and then we'll give some background color. So background color, for the background color, what I'm going to use is the same as the button color which we used in the previous section. So let us copy the code and paste it here. Let us save and refresh it. Border bottom has been added, but it is not in the center, and also I want some margin in between the text and the line. So for that, what I'm going to use is margin 0 on the top and bottom and auto on the left and right. It is going to align the line to the text, and I want some margin top just to maintain a gap between the text and the line. Let us refresh it. Yes, it has been properly positioned now. Okay, now we'll define our column width. Let us copy the class name span 1 of 3 and paste it here. I am going to have a width of 33.33% because my row is having a width of 100%. Now I am dividing row into 3 columns. Each column will have 100% divided by 3, that is 33.33% of the width. So then I'll target my content box and give the stylings to the content box. First, I will add the background color as white. The color code will be FFF. Okay, and then width will be 90%. This 90% refers that this is the 90% of the 33.33%. Okay, so let us refresh it. Yes, the background color has been added and content box width also defined. Now what I'll do is I want some margin between the top headline and the content boxes. For that, I'm going to have a top margin of 1% and right will be 0 and bottom 1% and left will be 1.6%. Let us refresh it. You can see the margin has been added. The divisions inside the content box, I want some padding for the heading and also to the content. Let us define it in the CSS. For that, I'm going to use a class name content box divisions. I'm targeting the divisions which are inside the content box. I want a padding of 15 pixels for every division which is inside the content box and border bottom of 1 pixel solid and the light gray color just to differentiate between the content inside the content box. The code will be D1 D1 D1. Okay, let us save and refresh it. Yes, padding and the border bottom has been added. Okay, now we'll change the color of the first division to little gray. Okay, this is the first child of the content box. For that, I'm going to use a pseudo element called first child. Let us copy the content box division. I'm targeting the first child inside the content box. So I want to change the background color of that. Let us change the background color to the little gray so that we can differentiate between the content and it looks good. Yes, the content box first division color has been changed. Now we will add some border radius to the content box. Border radius of 10 pixel. Let us save and refresh it. You cannot see any border. That is because divisions inside the content box are masking the border radius. So for that, I will have to define the border radius inside the divisions which are inside the content box. So for that, I am going to use a property called border top left radius and border top right radius, that is 10 pixel and 10 pixel. Let us save and refresh it. Now it has been added. For the last child, I don't want any border bottom. Let us define that. Copy the class name, that is content box div first child. Here I'll change it to last child. For the last child means the last division inside the content box. For that, I don't want any border bottom. So I'll just define border 0 and I want that anchor tag content to be in the center. For that, I'm going to use text align center. You can see now here, yes, the content has come to the center and there is no border bottom. Okay, now we'll style our h3, that is heading of the content boxes. For that, I'm going to use a font weight of 400 and the text align center. I want that heading to be in the center of the content boxes. So that's why I'm using text align center. Let us save and refresh it. Yes, the font weight and the text align center properties has been added. Now we'll style our anchor tag which is inside the content box. For that, I'm going to use a class name called content box and then I'm targeting the anchor tag. For that, I don't want any text decoration, that is to remove the border bottom which the anchor tag contains. Text decoration none, and the color of the text I want it somewhat a orange color, which we already used in the home page for the button. Let us copy the color code and paste it here. Let us save and refresh it. Yes, you can see the text decoration has been removed and color has been changed. Now we'll add some shadow effect to the content box. For that, I am going to use a property called box shadow. Horizontal offset will be 0, vertical offset will be 4 pixel and 4 pixel blur. Higher the number, higher will be the blur. For that, I am going to use a light gray color. Let us save and refresh it. You can see the light shadow effect has been added. Now only thing which is remaining is hover effect. When I hover over the content box, I want the shadow to increase and also I want some little pop-up effect. For that, I'm going to copy the box shadow and I'm going to increase the shadow blur and also to the spread of the shadow. I'm going to increase a little darkness and yes, 20 pixel, 20 pixel. Then I'm going to define one more property which is called transform scale. Initially it will be to 1:1. When you hover over it, it will become little big, that is 1.005, just a pop-up effect. To make it smooth, I'm going to add transition so that the hover effect will be very smooth. For the box shadow, it is 0.2 second, and also to the transform property, it is 0.2 second. Let us add it, transform 0.2 second transition for the hover effect. So let us save and refresh it. Yes, the hover effect has been added. When I click on the about us, I want to come to the particular section. For that, we need to define a reference. Let us copy the ID about and paste it inside the hyperlink reference of about us. Save it, refresh it. Now when I click on about us, it is going to bring to about us section. When I click, it is going to bring to about us section. Now we have completed the third part. In the next part, we are going to add the services section. By now, we have completed around 40% of our single page website development. Hope you all are enjoying the content. Thank you for watching. If you like the content, please consider us subscribing. Thank you once again.